What's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is something that I thought was very interesting, and it was actually brave of Apple to make this move. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it right there. So here's the issue. So link will be in the description below to the article that is discussing this topic, but I will also leave a link to, if it'll still be up there, a link to a letter that Tim Cook wrote and posted it on Apple's website. So here's the issue. So recently there was an incident that happened where there was a crime scene, and from what I've heard, it was like a tragic event. And so there was like some sort of shootings here and there, and you know what? This criminal had an iPhone with him, and it had personal information on it. So therefore, you know, the FBI was thinking, okay, you know, there's information on this iPhone that will allow them to identify why a tragic event like this happened. Now, the FBI was demanding Apple to create some sort of software to unlock this guy's iPhone. Now, why were they demanding for this? Because, you know, this is to investigate the crime scene a little bit further in detail. But you know, here's the thing. Apple and Tim Cook, or Tim Cook and Apple in general, always, you know, try to help the FBI out in terms of making suggestions and all. But Tim Cook feels like this is a bit overkill. Because here's the thing. The whole point, or Apple's view of the iPhone, is to keep everybody protected, because we store pretty much almost everything on these things. We store our personal information, our contacts, our phone numbers, our emails, and for those of you guys that are that desperate on having everything with you, your credit card numbers for Apple Pay, your bank account information. Basically, what the FBI is trying to do is to make Apple go against their own rule in terms of encryption, and to actually create what Tim Cook calls a backdoor of iOS. Meaning, like, okay, the FBI was demanding Apple to create a version of iOS where it'll just be used for this one time on this one iPhone. Now, Tim Cook already sees this as, it's not going to be a one time. It's going to become, you know, like a constant thing to do whenever something like this happens. You know, Tim Cook was against this command from the FBI, if you guys want to call it that way, and decided not to go along with it, because not only does this go against protection of their customers' data, but Tim Cook feels like, okay, with the government trying to demand Apple to do such a thing, is actually going against some of their laws that they created themselves. And you know, when I first saw this, I thought this was very interesting. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of get the point where Apple wants to keep everybody's information protected. Now, isn't it also a good point to find out, okay, what happened during a crime scene, so that way we're aware of, you know, what happened, therefore we can resolve it, and then, you know, try to make the world a better place to live in, a safer place to live in. But you know what? There are multiple variations of reasons on how to go about doing this, and methods on how to go about doing this. It's all completely different, and it's all from everybody's different point of view. Apple sees this as trying to steal information from not only this criminal's background, but it can also be to the rest of their customers. Apple does not care about their customers' business because it has nothing to do with them. But they try to make the products more reliable and more usable, so that way people can rely on the iPhone. That's why, they started implementing these security procedures where, okay, if you have an iCloud password on here, and then all of a sudden somebody has your phone and then they try to restore it so that way they can, use it for themselves, or they try to sell it for money, they can't do that. They would have to sell it as like a parts device. Sell it so that somebody can have it as a parts machine. Why? Because you cannot access an iPhone unless if there's an iCloud password erased from it. But if there is an iCloud password with somebody else's Apple ID locked onto it, you can't do anything about it. Maybe through a jailbreak? I have no idea. I've never tried doing that with a jailbroken device before. But at the same time, it's like when Apple implemented these security procedures, there's no point into stealing iPhones anymore. Yeah, people still do it anyway, but for people who are smart enough to do this, and then next thing you know, when somebody tries to restore it, that's it, game over. And I'm curious to see what the outcome is going to be from the FBI, since Tim Cook is not going along with this procedure. And that makes me question, okay, is Apple going to get fined? Are they going to get a penalty? Are they going to have certain restrictions? Or will the FBI try to convince Apple into performing such task? That way, they'll be able to investigate the crime more. So what do you guys think about this? Do you feel like Apple was smart into not going along with this kind of action? Or do you feel like, okay, Apple should have gone with it because it'll try to help make the world a better place to live in and a safer place to live in? What do I think about this? Me personally, there are mixed reasons for both sides. But I tell you one thing, if Apple were to do such a thing, that goes against what they want their products to be and what their products are made for. Therefore, I would say, in my opinion, I wouldn't bother. Because, sure, it's going to help the government investigate the crime a little bit further down, but you know what? When you're talking about security out there, you really got to be careful with what you're doing, because one mistake can actually lead you into consequences. For example, hackers exist out there, but at the same time, there are government positions where they'll hire hackers to go check to see, okay, who's doing what and what's right and what's wrong. And you know what? Some of these hackers do get arrested. Did they mean to do it? Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. You can't be in court and be like, I didn't mean to do it. Doesn't matter. You're automatically under arrest. Therefore, you have a fine to pay. I mean, that's how I feel about this. And my opinion, like I said before, I wouldn't go about doing this process. But would you guys do it? If you would, just elaborate on why you would and why you wouldn't. And that will determine if you agree that Apple made the right move or they didn't make the right move. Alright? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out the description below for my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. I will see you guys in the next one. This was something big, and I've never heard or seen anything like it before. Very interesting topic. Take care, everybody.